Alrighty, folks, welcome. It is Saturday evening. So great to be alive and have you guys joining us on this Saturday evening. We do have some new developments in regards to Social Security, and we are going to talk about it into today's video. Let's get started in just a moment here, but we will allow a few people hop on, and we'll get started in just a bit here. Welcome, everyone. I'll give it a minute or two just to let the YouTube algorithm kick in, and we'll get started in just a moment here. Quick sound check on my end. We do sound good. Okay, we have some people hopping on. Welcome. Okay, we got a lot of people hopping on. Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday evening, and we have some breaking news in regards to Social Security. If you are first joining us, make sure you guys give this video a tremendous thumbs up. Smash that like button. I'd appreciate that. If this video gets to 500 likes, we will do a cash giveaway where we give away $100 to a few of you lucky subscribers. So make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. So important, because once we hit 20,000 subscribers, we'll do a cash giveaway, and we'll give away double the amount of cash that we give away at 10,000 subscribers. Alrighty, folks, we'll give it one more minute here. In the meantime, let us know where you're tuning in from, city, state, location, and we'll get started in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, we have enough people hopping on. I think we are good to go. Welcome, Ronald, coming to us from Austin, Texas. We have Jared coming to us from Big Spring, Texas. A couple of Texas viewers there. And let us know you're tuning in from. If you haven't already, say the state, location, whatever you want to tell us in the live chat or in the comment section if you're watching the replay. And Angel coming to us from Puerto Rico. And he is waiting on, or she, waiting on Fiona. Fair enough. Okay. Okay, folks, here we go. So what is this breaking Social Security news? Let's get started. So this is actually really good news for you guys on Social Security. It certainly bodes well and could be a signal, this omen here, a positive one, that change will be coming and action will be taken. Now, with the midterm elections looming, right? Probably not every politician is in action mode right now. They're probably wanting to make sure that they're not going to be a lame duck politician and that they stay in office. So most likely we would see these talks and renewed calls happen more so after the midterm elections take place, especially if Democrats can maintain control of the House and the Senate. However, this is great news coming to us from a lawmaker. So what is going on? Well, Social Security reform is heating up, and that's just a fact with the November midterm elections. One congressional proposal to expand the federal program has received a new endorsement from California lawmakers. In August, a joint resolution passed both the state Senate and its assembly. Now it goes to Capitol Hill with a specific purpose: to request California representatives in Congress support expanding Social Security by voting in favor of the bill, formerly known as Social Security 2100, a sacred trust. And we have covered that bill numerous times on this channel. We've talked about it in great detail. If you haven't seen those videos yet, you can check out our Social Security playlist that is found on the homepage of my channel. All the Social Security videos where we discuss that bill as well as many others. According to State Senator from California, Nancy Skinner, the lead author of the bill, she had said, quote, "It's the state of California telling Congress we want you to pass H.R. 5723. The latest version of Social Security 2100 was introduced by Representative John Larson, Democrat from Connecticut, in October. The event included attendance of high-profile Democrats, including House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal, Democrat from Massachusetts, and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York. The bill has attracted broad support among Democratic House lawmakers with 202 co-sponsors. Democrats currently have a House majority with 221 members. And if Democrats want any chance at passing that bill or an iteration of the Social Security 2100 Act, well, they're going to have to maintain control of the House as well as the Senate. Now, most California House Democrats have signed on as co sponsors, with two exceptions: House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Representative Scott Peters. Neither of their offices have responded to requests for comment on this specific matter. And it seems as if they're not going to endorse this bill unless it, I guess, unless it really changed in their favor. But as of right now, folks, we're not going to get the support of the House Speaker, which is certainly crucial in getting the entire House on board, or at least the majority. Social Security has an estimated 13-year time frame when it can continue to pay full benefits. After that, in the year of 2035, just 80% of benefits will be payable, according to a report from the program's trustees released in June. According to Nancy Skinner, she said, quote, "Social Security is a lifeline for so many people, with many more people than the public often realizes." And that is so true, folks, because, of course, it's not just the elderly and our seniors that you would think make up the vast majority of Social Security, which is the case, but it's also our disabled. You have widows. You have people that are on SSI. You have people that are on railroad benefits and surviving benefits. So you have so many people on this program. It's not just necessarily, one specific group of people. It is a lot of Americans. Ah, gotcha. All right, my bad there, Angel. Probably misread that. Sorry about that. Probably not caught up with the hurricanes, as I guess more so in line with the Social Security and stimulus news. So excuse me for not being caught up with the hurricane news, and especially being on Long Island, you would think I would be. So my apologies there, Angel. Thought that was a person. My bad. And so Social Security 2100 offers one key change, according to Skinner, aimed at resolving those funding woes, applying Social Security payroll taxes to those with higher incomes. And that is how ultimately the program will be saved under this program, is ensuring that even the wealthy and high earning income Americans pay into Social Security, and that will keep it afloat and make sure that we have the funding necessary to keep it going for generations and generations to come. Currently, only wages up to $147,000 are subject to those taxes, with employees and employers each paying a rate of 6.2% for a total of 13.4%. The cap, which is often called the taxable maximum, is adjusted each year. Now, Social Security 2100 is not the only bill that is calling for wealthy and high earning Americans to pay into the system. Also, other bills are also calling for the cap to be raised, and so that way more Americans will pay into it and ultimately keep it funded. So it doesn't have to be the Social Security 2100 Act. That's certainly the most popular bill right now and has the most support behind the House and has the highest chance of passing as of this moment. But you have other bills as well that we have covered. But that particular proposal calls for reapplying those payroll taxes for wages of more than $400,000. This is a change that Nancy Skinner calls, quote, "one of the most important features of the bill." Multimillionaires and even billionaires are paying the same amount into the Social Security system as someone who makes $150,000, according to the state senator. In California specifically, there is a small percentage of very high income people who can afford to contribute more to Social Security. The fact that we have not adjusted it is partly why we are going to face such a shortfall, according to Skinner. Social Security 2100 proposes a host of other changes to make benefits more generous. That includes a broad increase of about 2% of the average benefit for both new and existing beneficiaries. It would also raise the minimum benefit to 25% above the federal poverty line. It also seeks to change the way that the annual COLA adjustments are measured, improve benefits for widows and widowers, increase benefit access for some students and children, repeal rules that would result in reduced benefits for public workers, eliminate the 5-month waiting period for disability benefits, and create caregiver credits. So, as you can see, it really covers a slew of topics here, and no stone was left unturned with this bill. Problem is that you have a lot of key politicians who are still not on board with it and would have to sign on. And certainly, if you want to get this bill through both chambers of Congress, you would need the support of the Senate as well. And we don't have that many senators, unfortunately, talking about this bill or Social Security in general. I think you're seeing it more in the House, just from what I've seen. You have people like Bernie Sanders, though, which is obviously a big champion for the elderly and disabled, who has been talking about Social Security. But other than that, I can't really think of too many senators, definitely on the Democratic side, that are so passionate and vehemently speaking about Social Security. Maybe that will change after the midterm elections. Let's hope that is the case. But right now, we are in a good spot with this bill still sort of on the borderline and hasn't necessarily been swept under the rug and forgotten about. It is still in the backs of some politicians' minds. Now, this is going to affect Social Security's solvency, rather, and the latest proposal would move the depletion date for Social Security's funds to 2038, based on an analysis of the bill done last year by the Social Security Office of the Chief Actuary. Most of the provisions to increase Social Security benefits would last for only 5 years. Consequently, groups such as the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities and the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget favor previous versions of this bill, which had less generous benefits increases, but aim to extend the program solvency into the next century. A separate bill proposed by Senators Bernie Sanders, this is the bill that we just discussed, Senators Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont, and Elizabeth Warren, Democrat from Massachusetts, introduced this year, would push out the program's solvency for 75 years while adding $2,400 per year to benefits. That proposal calls for reapplying the payroll tax at incomes of $250,000 rather than $400,000. Now, when it comes to the midterm elections, as the November election does approach, President Joe Biden has ramped up social media attacks on Republicans for their plans for Social Security. This week, that included a tweet accusing Senator Rick Scott of planning to, quote, put Social Security and Medicare on the chopping block. Now, Rick Scott has denied those claims, and it's not just Rick Scott, right? We, of course, have talked about Ron Johnson, who is very close to being down in the polls and will probably be surpassed and ultimately beaten in this November's election. Now, whether Joe Biden actually cares about Social Security and actually does want action to be taken on Social Security, that is another that's another conversation. We haven't really heard much from Joe Biden other than that tweet and other iterations here and there of discussion. But does Joe Biden really want to see change with Social Security? Is he really in favor of increasing benefits and seeing the system completely revamped? Who knows? This might just be sound bites for November and hoping to keep Democrats in the Congress. Fears for the program's future have led Democrats to ramp up their campaigns on behalf of the program ahead of the November. Michigan Democratic House lawmakers recently held a delegation to pass Social Security 2100. That's great news. Shows that, again, and is still being pushed forward and championed by many politicians. Joe Bauman, who is the president of the Social Security Works Political Action Committee, expects to appear at more than 40 events across the country this election cycle. He said, quote, I am extremely worried about candidates supporting ending the program, privatizing the program, cutting the program in any way in November. I don't think that's going to happen because the program is so popular, but is it scary? Yes. And certainly, again, Rick Scott, Ron Johnson, these are not the only Republicans that have talked about changing the way that Social Security is ultimately funded, or even eliminating some of it, cutting it, right? Not funding as much as they anticipate we should. Different talks, and that's just a fact. Unfortunately, you do see it a lot on the Republican side. Republicans want to prioritize other areas of spending, not necessarily Medicare, Social Security, disability, and different areas. That's certainly not something you hear too much on the Democratic side, and that is why Democrats are really rekindling and digging up the past a lot of those calls that Republicans have made. Let's see, we have Vinny here. And yep, unfortunately, it may definitely seem like that. And we also have Mom, unrelieved, SSI. Yeah, SSI is certainly part of Social Security. So, it would be effectively raised as well, if something were to change with Social Security. And so that is where we do stand right now. Like I said, it is great news and does bode well that we are still seeing these calls, even in these most recent couple of weeks, where you have the Michigan House and delegations talking about this bill, specifically Social Security 2100. And that's the bill that would really help so many Americans. We've covered other bills, but I think Social Security 2100 is truly the most encompassing and omnibus bill when it comes to Social Security, at least that we've heard of so far. But more proposals could come, and we could see other legislation come out or changed up, and maybe some of the wording and provisions changed up, so that way you can get other politicians on board. Obviously, it will be extremely difficult getting some centrist politicians, such as Joe Manchin, Kirsten Sinema, on board with a bill like the 2100 or a different Social Security bill. Of course, we do have a lot of progressives, which the House does lean more progressive. Whether or not we can get centrists and more moderate Democrats on board, we don't really know that just yet. They haven't been pressed with wanting to support this bill, but that could change if talks do ramp up after the election and Democrats maintain control. So we will see what happens. A lot of election coverage is to come, and we'll see if there are any new proposals and new action being taken. All updates and developments can be found right here on this channel. This is your one-stop shop. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, smash the like button. Again, if this video gets to 500 likes, we'll do a cash giveaway where we give away $100 to a few of you lucky subscribers. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. If you guys want to get some free stocks, all me, all free, use the links down below in the description of this video. Sign up with the brokerage platforms Robinhood and or Webull. You'll get some free stocks, some valued to thousands of dollars in some cases. So let us know what stocks you get. And if you want to connect with me on social media, I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook, I am on TikTok. All those social links are down below in the description of this video. And with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next one. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend.